And bing bong! Welcome to CineBoiz podcast. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Talking about anything interesting before we went on?
Just
Not that I recall.
I surprised you with that hit record button, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, welcome everybody to the CineBoiz podcast. We are part of the Cork Bats podcast network. We are Cork Bats movie, TV, entertainment podcast. We're not a sports podcast. I don't know how many times I got to say this, but we don't talk about sports here at all, ever. And so you better not bring up anything sports related this week, guys. Okay.
Even when we're talking about sports, we're not actually talking about sports.
Yeah, we're talking about how we feel, and there's a difference. We're a feeling podcast. We're feelings oriented.
Pro feelings.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you are listening on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, which you can see the link, not links, but just the ad space right around that area. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. You can follow us and subscribe and rate and review. And we really do ask that you do all those things. That would mean a lot to us. If you're watching on the Cork Bats YouTube page, also thank you. The blessing of Cork Bats YouTube page is that you get to see us in person and our cool animations and slides. And those are fun. And they're fun to make. So we're glad you're here. Please consider subscribing to the Cork Bats YouTube page. Also, leave us a comment. Subscribe. There's a lot of stuff to do here. All right. But I'm Kenny. I'm one of the co-hosts of the CineBoiz podcast. I am joined, as always, by my three. Well, not always. It's actually pretty rare these days that we get all four of us. But we're here today. All four of us. We all made it. I am joined starting. Let's start right to left, coast-wise. Okay? And I'm going to start with my good friend, Mr. Mob. Mob, how are you today?
I'm great. I feel like you felt like you were switching it up, but I feel like you normally go with me first.
I usually do. That's a
So,
good point. Well, like I said, we're going right to left from coasts. So you're the furthest right. Then we'll get to the next. I'll have to do that in my head because you guys are pretty close to each other. But, Mob, what are you big on this week?
bottle service.
Bottle service.
Yeah. Bottle service.
Can you elaborate on that?
So, this is the time of year where in medical residencies, the top, like the oldest people are graduating. So my wife is not graduated yet. She is going into her chief year, which is her last year. So she'll be graduating at this time next year. So we had their graduation on Friday. And after the graduation, some of the attendings took us to a place. I don't know how to describe it, but they reserved a backed off area that they roped off, and there was
like a
bottle service.
That's cool, man.
No, think Roxy's.
Oh, that's even better.
So someone got stabbed?
Think of
Wowie
getting bottle service in a roped off area in Roxy's and just put it in
Finest bottle
Lexington,
of
and that's where we
Andre.
were.
What would that be like?
It was
Wow.
wild.
Happy for you. What an experience.
It was wild. I was like, I'm too old to be doing this, but that's also what's great about it is we all were too old to be doing this because the attendings are 5 or 6 years older than I am. So
Okay. Well, man, good for you.
bottle service.
Bottle service. Did you network a lot while you were there?
No.
Say, hey, I have this podcast. I know you're a doctor, but I
Oh.
bet you're into podcasts. Here's a podcast you listen to while you're doing surgery.
Yeah,
Bob keeps
do
talking about trying to get into the family business with
I
Kate.
am in the family business. We are a house of learned doctors.
Well, that's cool, man. Congratulations on your bottle service. And then again, going left to right. Shoot.
Ooh.
I would guess that Tom would be next. Then he's probably closer to the coast than Kevin is.
It is. Yes.
Yep. That checks
It
out
is.
in my brain.
We can fact
Yeah.
check that later, but we'll go for it for now.
No, it 100% is. You don't even need to check it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
pretty
see
sure.
it in my head.
I can see it in my head too. I'm pretty sure Tom is closer to the coast.
He is.
than
He's
Kevin
like
is.
he's
He
like
definitely is.
60 feet, 100 feet further
Yes.
west than me.
Yeah,
East.
Correct.
east.
Further east.
Sorry, east. Yes, correct. Directions. He's further right That's sorry. That's
Got it.
Yes,
right.
that's true. This is
That
true.
checks out. That checks out. Tom, what are you big on this week?
Live music. We got to go to some shows last night at Rose Music Hall. Laura, the organization she works for, CASA, which is a wonderful organization that helps kids in the foster care system, they had a fundraiser at Rose Music Hall. And so I got to go and just listen to live music for the first time in well over a year and a half, maybe. And it was just a great time to be out and about and enjoy some local musicians.
That's hot, dude. That sounds fun right now.
It was a lot of fun.
I think in Austin, there's a lot more places that have live music. Definitely in San Antonio. I know that I was at a live music event a few weeks back. But yeah, that's really cool, man. And then third furthest from the coast, or third closest to the coast, we've got our good friend Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
Hey, Ken. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
That's really good, dude. What are you big on this week?
I'm a simple man, Kenny. I'm big on air conditioning. It's hot as balls here in Columbia. It went from 65 degrees. I was wearing a hoodie 10 days ago. It's 95 degrees here today. I'm dying. I'm melting. I forgot how much I hate the summer. I would not make it in Texas. And I've said many times, if there's one thing that I couldn't live without, I think I would choose air conditioning over just about anything else in life. And I think the debate was Wi-Fi or internet, or Wi-Fi or air conditioning, and I would choose air conditioning 100% of the time.
Yeah, that is that's tough.
Unless I lived
But I
in
think
like
you're
San
right.
Diego, air conditioning is my number one. And that's it.
That's cool.
I'm a hot boy.
I can't. Here's what I think, man, and I don't think I'm wrong on this. I know you say that you don't like the heat, but I swear if you had this day and then you had a day like 16 inches of snow below freezing the next day, you're gonna choose the hot day.
I don't think I
Incorrect.
am.
False.
I am not. So winter, I bathed in the cold. I loved it. It was
I
great.
got out of the shower sweating today. What's
Yeah,
the
it
point?
Sucks.
Been there.
Stupid.
It's inconvenient, but it doesn't hurt. That's
So
my,
I think
that's how I
as a
feel about
younger,
heat.
I think as a younger lad, I just didn't know how to properly dress in the wintertime. I just would wear a t-shirt and then like a light jacket over that, and that was like my winter attire. I've learned to layer like a man. So I'm not cold in the wintertime unless it's like -5 degrees. I'm warm. I dress for the occasion. In the summer, it's just hot. I'm hot all the time.
It's hot, but it's like doable. Like
No,
that's
you
the
of all
difference.
people should know the pains of heat. It's like 1,000
No,
degrees.
love it. I love the heat. I think the heat's great. I think winter is just stupid and pointless.
I
It's
would
too
I
cold.
would say the other way around.
I
I
hate
hate
being
the heat.
sweaty.
Yep.
Being sweaty. Soupiness sucks.
I could go
That's all
outside.
it is.
It's
Soupy
heat
stomach.
index of 105 here today in Austin. I could go outside today and stay outside for hours and not die. Where
Dude,
if it's middle of winter
that's not
and I went
true.
outside for hours, something would probably freeze and fall off my body. Okay, so there's a big
first off,
difference.
in Texas, freezing, it would be like 45 degrees. You'd be just fine.
No.
Be just fine.
May
if
I
I went
remind you that
outside-
we just went through a
Okay, you go.
Not a weather
once
podcast.
in a lifetime weather event.
I think we are a weather podcast. This is
We're a
the
weather
most heated
podcast.
debate we've had in a while, I think.
Nice.
I see what you did there. Heated. Oh, well, that's great. Well,
I got swamp ass going
hold
to
on.
the grocery store today.
Exactly.
That's all I
okay,
did.
Again,
And you don't recover from
Again,
soup,
You
bud.
don't.
You
again,
can get warm again
it's
when it's cold.
inconvenient. I will give you that. It is very inconvenient when you have swamp ass, but it's also livable. Like,
I'm thinking about
I'd rather
moving to,
have
like,
swamp
But
ass
the-
than have
the-
frostbite.
The coldness we're talking about is also livable.
No, like you cannot live in that. You would die.
No, you can. You
Yeah,
can.
but like, I'm gonna spend more time inside when it's blazing hot outside than when it's freezing cold.
1,000,000,000%. I would
Yeah.
rather
So
Because it's fun and it feels good.
no, the opposite of that.
You get tan. You feel the
No.
like the warmth wrap your body. It's just feels great. I love it. Anyways, enough of this
Hold on.
weather talk.
Hold on, I got.
Okay,
Kenny.
fine. Continuing with the weather talk.
No, we're done with the weather. I just want to ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
First off, what are you big on? Second off,
How dare you?
how dare you? Oh, thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's what I'm big on. And this is going to make you St. Louis people really happy.
Oh.
But I'm big on toasted ravioli.
Yes.
There are very few places that you can get toasted ravioli in Austin. One we had about 2 years ago, and it was shit. There's a place that is maybe now our new apartment. It's probably less than a mile away that makes toasted ravioli, and it is so good. And we got it for dinner the other night. So here's the thing: it's a pizza place that makes this toasted ravioli. Toasted ravioli is great. Pizza sucks. So we went to another pizza place to get their pizza, and then we went and got the toasted ravioli from this other place. Oh man, toasted ravioli is so good.
The
So
key is to
good.
actually get it toasted. Like half the time you eat it, it's like chewy and mushy.
Oh,
and
it was perfect.
It's the worst.
Well, it's probably like they get it frozen and then put it in the oven, and it's not
It
toasted.
sucks.
It's not
Yeah.
the same.
I think you have to make the
frozen.
ravioli yourself in order for it to be good. If you're gonna fry it or toast it.
I've never really understood why toasted ravioli is so contained to a couple cities in Missouri.
It is very, very like you ask people about it, they don't know what it is. We found that a lot when we moved here. Is that like we would ask people like, "Hey, can you get toasted ravioli?" And all of a sudden, everyone's like, "What is that?"
It seems
knows
like
what that
something
It's in
that
the
would be
name.
right up Texas's alley. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right
There's a place.
immediately.
I'll say this: there's a place in St. Louis that does burnt end toasted ravioli. So they take the burnt ends and put it in there.
Yeah.
Why can't Texas do that?
Texas,
Because they would probably do
get
better
on it.
at it.
I'm sure there's got to be a
Throw
place
some
in
pulled pork, some
Austin.
brisket,
Sounds
whatever.
good.
Oh,
Yum
food.
yum.
Like it's a
Food.
brilliant idea, and this place does it very well. But that collab of barbecue and Italian is out there to be had.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Austin.
we could do it. I'll check it out. I'll make it happen. I know some people. I don't, but I know some people. But yeah, no, that's what I'm big on. Just like the toasted ravioli, it's such a treat. Like, you take it for granted when you live in Missouri. You can get it anywhere you go.
Honestly, here in Columbia, there's nowhere good toasted
not a
ravioli
great-
spots.
Not a great option.
It's
Does it-
crazy.
Oh, yeah, I guess there isn't really a place that I
Like you
think
can
of.
get it and it's okay, but it's
You
You've
can
got
get-
emos, but we all know that the Columbia emos is
Mhm.
way subpar to the
I
St.
get it.
Louis emos.
Also,
I'll get
like
So
emos
gross.
is way
Okay.
subpar. Am
Nah,
I right?
I'll get emos every once in a while just out of nostalgia. Like if there's a big St. Louis sporting event, not a sports podcast, but if there's a big St. Louis sporting event coming up, and I just have to feel like I'm in St. Louis for a minute.
Uh-huh.
It kind of helps. It's not great. It's average at best.
The
but
Columbia emos isn't real emos. It's
Ugh,
pretty
it's
trash.
disgusting.
Here's the thing.
So
Emos
gross.
is the same anywhere you go. But
That's
what I'll
actually
give
not
it-
true, but
you couldn't be more wrong.
Here's what I'll give it.
I
though.
wish you could be, but you can't.
Will give it this. Is it their pizza good? No, but they have really good wings and good
They have great
toasted
wings.
ravioli. So
Also
I'll
great
give them
pizza.
that. Pizza's nasty crap. Nah. I guess I
fine.
need to.
It's an acquired taste. I'll give you that.
I don't think it is though, because I've had other St. Louis style pizzas that are phenomenal.
Like what?
Oh, what's the name of that
Give me-
place?
give me an example.
it's
Stefanino's?
probably not actually. It's probably not actually St.
Yeah,
Louis
I was
style
gonna
pizza.
say it
Then
probably isn't.
you probably are getting the thin crust without the Provel cheese.
Yeah. That's what makes it St. Louis style, unfortunately,
Correct.
is the Provel cheese.
Well, I don't think
Not
the Provel cheese is.
unfortunately.
Well,
I don't think the
unfortunately for
Provel
Kenny,
cheese
for-
is
for
the
you
thing
and
that makes
me,
emos bad, though.
No, that's what it is. That's
No.
what you hate about it.
No, it's not. It's the like just flimsy ass.
If you
Crust.
get the right emos, it's
Again,
crispy and
you've
delicious.
how many times have you had emos in St. Louis?
Several times, I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
believe that.
I-
If you
I
have to
don't
say
think
growing
growing
up-
up, then I don't believe you.
As someone who has spent more time in St. Louis and had way more emos in St. Louis, and also had it in Columbia, which I had once or twice and decided I will never have it again because they are not the same.
Mm.
It's
Okay.
just not the same. If you get it where it is actually cooked, I agree with you. If it's flimsy like that, no good.
If
But
you get any
where it's
pizza that's
actually
cooked like that, I'm not gonna love it. Probably. I like a little crispiness to my
Pizza
right,
fight.
Tom?
Pizza
Yeah.
fight.
You know what? This has been a good start to the. We've been away as a group for a while. It feels like.
Yeah,
My favorite
Spice.
arguments are where it's me, Kevin, and Kenny all yelling at each other, and Tom just sitting there looking at
I'm
us
just
like,
I'm indifferent.
why am I here?
I don't care. Well, guys, it is good to see you, and it is we got some box office numbers this week. I will say this, after looking at the box office numbers are down, but still pretty solid. And also, A Quiet Place is the first movie in the pandemic, post-pandemic, to reach the $100 million mark. So we're back. And I think for real, movies in theaters are opening up. We got our tickets for Black Widow.
Already? Dang.
Yep, got them ready to roll. And
They've done it.
Yeah.
Done like a month.
Yeah, I mean, now it's
Proud of
like
Yeah, they're on sale.
Yeah, people are buying them. We had to go a couple days into it. We couldn't just get them day of. So, yeah, it's happening. And masks are optional now if you're vaccinated. That's kind of fun.
Great.
So a lot of stuff going on. But hey, let's get into these actual box office numbers. So coming in at number 3 this week is Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, with $10.4 million.
Makes sense.
Is that Ewan McGregor?
That is not.
Okay. Who is it?
I think that's I think it's James Gordon,
It is.
who is the Peter, the titular role of Peter. And
You've
then
also got-
Domhnall Gleeson is like is in it as well.
So is Margot Robbie.
Is she?
Man. I don't
Sure
really get
is.
roped
She-
into those kind of movies.
She's the voice
I
of
don't understand
Flopsy
it.
Rabbit.
Oh, voice, that makes sense.
Flopsy Rabbit.
Hmm.
Like, what?
Well, that's
Rose
cool.
Byrne's in it. It's got some names.
Oh, Rose
love
Byrne's
her.
in it. Yeah. So cool. Good for the Peter Rabbit people. Yeah. Well, coming in at number 2 this week, with $11.4 million, is In the Heights, which kind of
In the
surprising.
Heights.
It just came out on Friday and it's only in second place.
I think a lot of people probably watched it at home.
That's what we did. We got our toasted ravioli, we got our Desano pizza, and we watched it at home.
I might argue that it would have done better if it weren't on HBO Max.
Definitely. would've.
Probably.
People
I
would have
think-
gone to see it.
People would have gone to see it. So I
It's
think
gonna
we're
be-
starting to see where the HBO Max it releasing on both, it may hurt its box office numbers
So I've got a question about that. How
Yeah.
long is this happening for?
this year.
The dual
It's all
this
of
year.
this
This
2021.
whole-
Mhm.
Man, that's
They
nice.
announced it
Yeah.
last year. They said every 2021 release will be on HBO Max same
And
day.
it put everyone in a tizzy because
Yeah.
they were not expecting that.
Which
I love it.
and I think they probably were like, well, we don't know how long this is gonna last, so we might as well just say the
Yeah.
whole year. And so I wonder
And now
now if
they're
they're like, oh, maybe
Probably
we should."
regretting it
For
'cause
sure.
It was like 3 months
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
Like I get what they were doing. They were trying to get people to get like year, because
Subscribe.
at that
Yeah.
time you could also sign up for 6 months at a discounted rate, which is
Mhm.
what we did. And so they're trying to get people to sign up for probably year plans. But you got to think they kind of regret it right now.
yeah.
Oh
also,
yeah, totally.
also,
And why
in the
couldn't they
Heights-
just have done it release by release?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I would have thought. Just movie by movie. See,
Yeah.
read the room. Hey, I'm happy though.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch. I won't watch In the Heights, and I never will. But
That's
glad I
so
have the
sad.
option
I'm
to.
so sad for you because it's so great.
why would you sing something to me when you can say it 3 times faster, and I'll actually understand it?
Yeah, but like
Actually,
you don't
they
get the
rap, so
vibe
they
of
say it faster.
That's even more confusing. You have to rap it 5 or 6 times for me to understand it once.
I think for you to really understand my vibe, I should start singing and rapping to you.
Agreed.
You know what?
It's like
That-
it's such a cool movie. I don't care.
Nah,
Look,
yeah.
they sing.
See,
Sure,
okay,
if you're
here's
not
my
into
fear.
singing, that's fine. But like,
Here's
it's
my
some of the
fear.
most elaborate dance sequences of like any musical I've ever seen. It blew my mind. It was so good.
I've never been a theater kid, and I just don't. If I can, I can't do it.
I
don't
think
know.
he's afraid of liking it.
Yeah, he's
No, I'm
afraid
not.
he'll
I
like it.
I watched the trailer and I couldn't even finish it. I was just like, all right.
It
The
is
trailer's not the movie.
long, though.
I know it doesn't
Very
matter.
long.
It
Oh,
was
it's long?
very-
Then definitely
it's
not gonna watch it.
Almost
How
2.5
long is it?
hours long.
It's 2.5
Oh,
hours.
woof.
It's still good though. You get-
Okay, look, this is a real fear of mine is that my mom is going to latch onto this movie like she did Hamilton, and I'm going to have to watch her rap and sing songs to me like she did with Hamilton songs. That's a very real fear that I have right now.
Does your
about
mom
this.
sing to you a lot?
I didn't want it to happen, but she definitely sang Hamilton to us on multiple occasions, like as a performance. And it was like, the first time I was like, oh, that was kind of fun. And then the second and third time, it's like, okay, we got it.
Fair enough.
Here's what In the Heights made me want to do. It made me want to live in a different culture than what I currently live in.
Yeah.
Because it seemed so fun.
Bluegrass.
Yeah. It is very like, you see something, you see a side of culture in general that like you're not used to as a white male. I don't know if everyone knows this, but we're 4 white guys. So like we have a very probably like
What?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Back up.
True story. Very monochromatic view of the world and just life in general. So to see it from another perspective in a way that's just really fun and refreshing is great. And I think that's the best part of In the Heights. Is like, oh, there's this whole other like, there's people who are different than me who are awesome.
Like in my neighborhood, I avoid my neighbors.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
In this neighborhood, they're like all a big family, and like part of me hates that, but part of me is also like, hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Hate it, but I want to be in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I could just move there and didn't have to work to make that, and it was just there, I'd love it.
Cool.
It's the in between of I don't know you and I want to get to know you, but I also don't want to put in the effort because that seems hard.
Growing up, my parents were like legitimately friends with all our neighbors, and our neighbors like hung out, and we hung out with the kids. And I just think that's just people don't do that anymore. At least millennials don't.
Do you think we're going to get a musical about Kevin's neighborhood growing up?
I really hope so. Actually, honestly,
starring Tim's Alabama.
Honestly, the characters there's characters there to develop.
Yeah, it would actually be kind of fun. I would actually maybe watch that.
You heard it here first. There's a musical based on Kevin's life growing up, coming soon.
I mean,
In the
whoever
Glen.
they cast as my dad would have the time of his life.
Oh yeah.
It'll be called In the Glen.
In the Glen.
In the Glen.
It would be just look how easy these people's lives are.
This whole musical is very conflict averse.
Not a lot happens here. They just
biggest problem is taxes.
Yeah, they just sing the whole time, and there's really no real hardships.
Or when the protagonist decides to dig a pond in his backyard.
I mean, the problems, the hardships of my neighbors would be the things my parents do, and that would be
there's like a whole.
That would be the plot of the movie. Like, did you see our crazy ass neighbor? I think he was burying a body last night at midnight. Building a pond.
It's like,
Dad, if you're listening, the code word is Sour Patch Kids.
There's like the whole number about going to Ace Hardware on Saturdays in the movie.
See, he didn't even do that though. He started digging. I'll tell you guys that story sometime.
Oh, I'm intrigued. And then coming in number 1 again 2 weeks in a row, Quiet Place Part 2 with $11.7 million. Actually, they weren't number 1 last week. It was The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Which is such an excuse. Stop making excuses. But yes, Quiet Place Part 2, $11.7 million. So good on them. I finally saw Quiet Place Part 1, so I feel like I can go see Part 2 now. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I don't have anything going on, so it could be fun. Head over to the Alamo Draft House.
Definitely do it.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for our box office numbers. So not a whole lot of news this week to really report on, but we did get the second trailer for Space Jam. What are your guys' thoughts on this second trailer?
It looks bad.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It seems like a very heavy plot. Like, for some reason, the souls of the NBA players, like their talent, doesn't seem like as big of a deal as like LeBron James, like the life of his son.
Yeah, it seems dark.
Yeah. That seems like too much.
I thought they showed more of the Looney Tunes, and I was like, oh, okay.
The animation looks cool. I'll give it that. Like the way it looks nice. I thought it was kind of weird that LeBron is animated half the time.
Yeah,
I kind of like that about the originals at MJ, which is MJ the whole time.
I guess where I'm at with it is how I just feel like Looney Tunes. Maybe it's because we're adults now, But Looney Tunes in the 90s was more relevant than it is now.
Yeah,
Like-
they're not really on TV anymore.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, how much were they making new Looney Tunes cartoons in the 90s even?
Probably not a lot, but I feel like
Right.
there's still more of the more like you get like what was the Looney Tune babies? What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm thinking Muppet Babies. Never mind. But
Are you
like,
thinking Animaniacs?
no.
I
I
love
just got
Animaniacs.
my wires crossed there. I just don't think that Looney Tunes is as relevant as it used to be, and it probably wasn't even that relevant in the 90s. But I felt like it was.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
feel like when I would go like to my grandparents' house or something, or even my parents, they would show me, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
But millennials aren't showing their kids Bugs Bunny.
No, it's all Peppa
They're
the Pig
freaking
and
watching
shit.
Paw Patrol and Peppa the Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Looney Tunes wasn't like the Paw Patrol age.
Yeah,
I don't
Paw
know.
Patrol's like for
real little. I don't know.
toddlers, right?
Real
I don't know.
young babes.
We're 4 white men without any children.
Right.
So
That we know
Let's
of.
bring some
we know
parents
of.
on and ask them. Yeah.
none of us are actively fathering a child or parenting a child.
True.
Whether any of us are fathers, we
We don't.
Who's
know.
to say?
can't.
Who's to
prove.
say?
We should probably start giving parental advice on the show. Just give our hot takes on
Parental
agree.
corner.
Yeah, parental corner from 4 guys that don't have kids.
Yeah. I think
People would
that's
like that.
solid.
People
Well,
wouldn't hate it.
I will say this. So, Kevin, you said you think it looks bad, Space Jam.
Yeah.
I agree.
I can't really say exactly why, other than it seems too dark.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I just don't really like LeBron James, and that's
But
a me problem, probably.
Here's the other question: was Space Jam 1 a good movie?
No.
Like,
That's
I
a
don't
great
think it
question.
is.
That's
Probably
the
not.
thing.
We're
I-
adults
I-
now.
I saw the trailer and was like, this looks exactly like the first movie. And the first movie was not good.
Yeah.
Did I enjoy it?
Of
Yes.
course.
But it wasn't good.
The first
Mhm.
movie had Bill Murray.
True. I'll give
I
it
feel like
that.
Who's to
Trump
say
card.
Bill Murray doesn't show up?
I mean, I would love that.
Who says
be
Michael
great.
Jordan isn't in it?
Yeah, you know what? Michael Jordan, not a great actor himself. Gotta throw that out there.
No. It was
There is a bet out there, though. I think it's minus 300 of that LeBron James will outscore Michael Jordan. So LeBron James in this game will outscore Michael
in
Jordan in
Space
Space Jam 1.
I guarantee
Yeah.
you he will. He probably wrote that into the contract of it. He's like, I have to score more than
Do we
Michael
have
Jordan.
more? Do we have stats on this at all? Like stats on Space Jam,
that.
like what MJ scored? Like
Yeah, what was
like
his Mob, look up
points,
his game
assists?
his game line.
It has to be based off of just like actual like visible things that you see in the game or in the movie of how many points he scored, how many assists, how many blocks.
I wonder if
This is relevant because NBA playoffs,
So-
not a sports podcast.
Michael Jordan was 22 for 22.
wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's impressive.
He didn't
0
miss.
assists, 0 steals, 0
assists.
blocks, 2 turnovers,
No assists. What?
44 points.
So he was 100% shooting.
Yeah. To be
I can't
fair,
imagine he didn't have an assist.
to be
No
fair,
three-pointers?
everyone on the team was 100%.
Wow.
Oh,
They're
yeah, I
gonna-
guess it's true. They don't.
I guess they probably didn't even-
miss
they
shot.
didn't really-
Now, for the Monstars, Bupkis, who was Patrick Ewing, missed a shot. There was 1 missed shot the entire game.
Wow. So here's the thing.
I guess they didn't
Here's-
even get to
here's
shoot.
the
They got
question. Here's
clobbered
the-
before they shot. Sorry.
Here's the real debate. If LeBron scores more points than MJ in Space Jam 2, but has a missed shot,
Yeah, who's better?
does the debate rage that MJ is better than LeBron because of not the amount of points, but like percentage shooting?
I mean, you could argue efficiency is more important than points scored. So
There you go.
Can you?
I don't know.
If
I don't know.
I'm
if
just-
LeBron James scores 45 points against Michael Jordan and he scores 44, it doesn't matter how many shots he missed. He won.
Yeah, I guess. Unless LeBron shoots, he misses a bunch of shots.
I'm
Would you-
talking one-on-one.
Would you
Well,
say
yeah.
that their legacy, like
The
the
team sport,
legacy of
though.
MJ and LeBron, comes down to Space Jam movies?
I think
I think-
it
I
should.
think so.
I think first off, it's kind of a little I don't know what kind of move, but the fact that LeBron's doing just MJ's movie part 2 seems like, dude, make your own thing. Get your own movie. You just have to piggyback off me again.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you know. Also, I don't like LeBron, so there's my
Well,
How
here's
old are you?
you know what's good for LeBron is that his schedule
my
cleared
90s
up
boy.
to promote this movie.
That drove me nuts. He lost for the first round, the first time ever in the first round, and he comes out and goes, "Yeah, I'm just looking forward to playing with the Looney Tunes, beating the Monstars." Be more corny. Come on, I hated it so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hate
I
sports on
love
this
I
podcast.
love how much this bothers Kevin.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
thriving off of his hate right now.
We should make Kevin go see it in theaters and review it.
You know the crazy thing? I would have seen it in theaters if I had MoviePass right now.
Speaking of MoviePass,
I set you up there.
that was a great transition. But yeah, so we received an article today from our longtime listener Mary, from Mashable.com, and it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, we could post on this, but like this deserves a lot of attention because it's insane. But essentially, we have a basically today we're going to be doing an expose of MoviePass. So if you don't know what MoviePass is, essentially it was a movie subscription service where essentially you got what's the equivalent of like a debit card. And with MoviePass, essentially, if you paid $10 a month, $9.99, well, it started at $9.99. Essentially, you had access to go see a movie in theaters, at least, or you could see one movie per day in a theater. And there was no limit to how many movies you could see in a month, but you could only see one a day. So essentially, you could potentially see 30 movies in a month for $9.99.
A wild idea.
Right. And at the time, it was like, this is insane. Like, this is such a good deal. I had it. I know Kevin had it. Mob, you had it, right?
Mob told me about it.
Tom, did you have it?
Nah.
Okay. So it was essentially $10 a month, and you could go to as many movies as you want. When it started, it was awesome because I had it.
It was cheaper than that in the beginning.
They had a deal where if you signed up for like
I
a
did this.
year,
It was
like
$6.95 a month.
$60. Yeah.
It was
even
$6.50
cheaper.
a month, I think, if you paid annually. And
Yeah.
now I did that, and then the last 2 months of the year, the app just didn't work anymore.
Yes.
But
It-
had
we'll
already
get into
gotten the value out of it.
But I had maxed out my value easily. I
Yes.
think in 10 months I saw like almost 40 movies. I think it was like
Yes.
38 movies.
So it was an extremely good deal. And the reasoning behind this and the
Too
way
good
that,
to be true.
yeah, the way that they were planning to make money was that essentially they were going to sell this data to studios. So the data they were collecting on their users, they were going to sell to the studios, and that's how they planned to make their money back. Well, what happened was that didn't happen, and essentially MoviePass had to figure out a way to make money off the subscription. So there was a lot of things they did, including turning the subscription price up to about $30 a month. They limited the amount of movies you could see to like 3 a month or something like that.
It was one a week for a while.
Yeah, it got really restrictive.
On like, if you wanted to go see like an Avengers movie, you would have to pay like a premium fee.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's like $6.95 wouldn't cover it anymore.
So
Makes
basically, it just kind of realized that it was going to make money, and then in 2019, it eventually collapsed, and MoviePass no longer exists. Now you have individual theaters selling these subscription models, which are actually make more sense, per theater. So Alamo has one that's currently suspended due to COVID, but it's $20 a month, and you can see one movie a month, or one movie a day. Sorry.
That's
And
a terrible deal.
I think it's pretty solid. All you got to do is see 2 movies in a month, and you made your money.
I mean, if it was one movie a month, that's a terrible deal.
Oh yes, of course, that'd be a really shitty.
Just
deal.
awful.
But yeah, so I mean, it basically fell through because it didn't make any money. But this article came out from Mashable.com, written by Jack Morse, and it was about a week ago. And again, shout out to Mary who sent this to us. But essentially, just wanted to go through this article because the title of the article is MoviePass actively tried to stop users from seeing movies, according to the FTC. So, like we were saying, how they had to change up their model, they started charging more, but they were also doing things to essentially cover their ass and, try to make sure that people didn't overuse it and they would lose money. So, essentially, the article says the movie ticket subscription service, which promised customers the ability to see one film in theaters per day for $9.95 a month, officially shuttered for good in 2019. However, according to the Federal Trade Commission complaint released Monday, the company actively worked to prevent its customers from seeing movies in theaters. MoviePass allegedly did this in 3 calculated and rather hilariously screwed up ways. First, according to an FTC press release announcing the complaint, MoviePass invalidated users' passwords and claimed falsely that it detected fraud related to their accounts. And
That happened to me.
when we're talking a lot of customers, according to the complaint, MoviePass did this to 75,000 users, many of
I was
whom
one of them.
were then logged out of their accounts as MoviePass's password reset process often failed. So essentially, they said, "Oh, we can't log you in. Looks like there's some fraud. We got a fraud alert. So you're gonna have to reset your password." And then they wouldn't let you reset your password, or
I
the
emailed
technology didn't work.
MoviePass 50 times.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe not 50, 20 times. Didn't even get one response ever. Just
Yeah. So essentially, it was kind of like, it reminded me of this business or this online sell your DVD thing that I did like 10 years ago. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I had like a whole collection of DVDs, and then streaming hit, and I was like, I don't need all these DVDs. It is such a hassle for me to walk over to something and put a disc in it.
It is.
It really is. I hate doing it. But it was like, yeah, we'll give you 60 cents for every DVD you send us. So I loaded this box. I was going to make like $60. I loaded this box full of DVDs, sent it out, never heard anything back.
yeah.
So,
Get paid first.
yeah, that
That's
was
the
really
worst.
stupid. But yeah, that's kind of what it feels like with MoviePass. It started out as like, oh, this is kind of legit, to like, what in the hell is actually happening?
So Mob and I knew from the very get-go that this was not lasting long.
Yeah,
we
I
always
remember-
said, do it while you can, make it last, because this is going away soon.
I
Right.
remember thinking like, there's no way this is gonna stick
Yeah.
around, because I'm getting to see every movie I want
It was
as
incredible.
many times as I want. I just have to wait a day to see another one.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of makes sense if you look at it from the standpoint of, hey, the reason why this model works is because ultimately the way we're going to make our money is by selling information to movie studios.
Well, I think
The problem-
that's funny. They thought that movie theaters would want that from them, and they were like, "You're doing this, and we hate this.
Mhm.
We're gonna like a great idea, but we want to do this on our own. We're not going to take it from you."
Right.
And they hated the idea.
Well, the model was that they would buy, so essentially MoviePass would buy a certain amount of tickets per theater per showing. And then if you were a MoviePass user, you could use up one of those seats. And they were like, well, we don't have to worry about spending the money to buy these tickets because we're going to get reimbursed by studios.
Right, and they didn't expect the studios to hate it.
Right.
They did.
Well, the problem is that studios essentially were like, why do we need your information? We get the information from the movie theater. That
Right.
seems dumb. So it just
Well,
didn't work.
Yeah. I also thought like there was also a small part where they were like, yeah, people will they depended on people forgetting about the subscription, just not using it, using 0.5 movies a month, paying for one ticket, making some money. And 2, I think another plan was to drive it was going to drive like concessions and merchandise and stuff, which didn't happen. Like
Well-
I would go to a movie and buy nothing because the whole experience cost me no money. Why would I go and get a free movie ticket and then spend $20 on soda and candy? I'm not gonna do that.
Well,
Or
it makes more sense for a movie theater to have that subscription then, because
exactly.
essentially the money that when you go to a movie theater and you spend money on a movie ticket, that money does not go to the theater. It goes to the studio. When you go to a movie theater and you buy like all the other stuff there, that's the money that, that's essentially where the theater's making its money. So yeah, it's it makes more sense for a movie theater to have that subscription-based service than just have the subscription service out there. So movie theaters are getting, I don't know. Anyways, so that was one way that they countered it and tried to keep people from, using it. So it says the FTC notes that MoviePass then CEO Mitchell Lowe, along with the CEO of MoviePass's parent company, knew of, ordered, or helped execute the password disruption program.
Love it.
Secondly, MoviePass allegedly launched a ticket verification program that didn't work correctly and as a result blocked thousands of subscribers from using the service.
Also happened to me.
So with that, it doesn't really go into how that worked, but wasn't it like you had to take a picture
of your ticket stub? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you didn't take it within a certain amount of time, it would like lock you out of your account and stuff. And or even if you took the picture, it'd be like, this isn't verifiable. Yeah, it was just hilarious.
So when that happened, did they make you pay for the ticket? How does that work?
I don't remember. Do you remember what happened with that, Mob? It was like, I think the threat was that if you don't do this, your account can just be like deleted.
That makes sense.
And so one time, eventually my account, I did delete my account at some point, but then I was still getting charged monthly for MoviePass. So I had to like, I got them to stop somehow. I think I sent them so many emails, but they just were flat out just ignoring all the rules of business, which I respect.
Which is just like, it's
that's what you do.
It's so bold. And I can't say
Bold
that I dislike it.
And hilarious. Like, it was a good idea, sort of.
Yeah.
There was
Like
a good
6
idea
months.
hidden in there somewhere.
Right.
And they made all the wrong decisions after that initial idea.
And then, perhaps most outrageously, MoviePass's operators used tripwires that blocked certain groups of users, typically those who viewed more than 3 movies per month, from utilizing the service after they collectively hit certain thresholds based on their monthly costs to the company. And yeah, that's not all. In addition to locking out customers who saw more movies than MoviePass wanted to pay for, the company also allegedly burned the rest of its customers for good measure. MoviePass's operators also failed to take reasonable steps to secure personal information it collected from subscribers, such as their names, email addresses, birth dates, credit card numbers, and geolocation information, the FTC alleges.
I read they stored them in plain text files, which is freaking
right
hilarious.
Company stored customers' personal data, including financial information, email addresses, in plain text, and failed to impose restrictions
not
on this.
encrypted.
www.creepthoughts.com//creepthoughts. That's where it was at.
Yeah.
Slash my info, and it's just all your financial banking.
I just love
Social debit card number.
Yeah, I just love that. Like, Kevin, you were probably one of the targets that they were after because they're like, this guy's using it way too much. Let's start throwing this stuff at him.
I did the numbers. I found the emails of when I signed up for MoviePass. I signed up in August of 2017. The next email I sent was August of 2018 saying I wanted to cancel my plan. So that was a full year. And in that year, I saw 43 movies. So I saw one almost every week. There were 10 weeks in a year that I didn't see a movie.
This guy just saw The Spy Who Dumped Me 3 times. We need to get him out of here.
This guy's really taking advantage
I think
of
it
this.
was. I checked my list because that's when I started using Letterboxd, when MoviePass came out. Because I was like, I'm seeing so many movies, I have to log them somehow. And I think it was April of 2018. I saw 7 movies in a month.
Nice.
I just saw every movie the theater had to offer.
That's great.
Basically.
That's solid. Well, yeah, MoviePass. What a roller coaster. What a company. What a well-managed, well-run company that was.
Yeah, man.
Gosh.
It was worth it for the year-long dream.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my money's worth.
You didn't really have to barely spend much money to make it worth it.
That's why I was like, this isn't gonna last. I didn't know if it was gonna burn the way it did, but I figured at least the monthly subscription price would go up to more than a movie ticket.
Of course.
That's what I figured it would be. It would have made way more sense to be $20.
That makes total sense. It would have made sense that it just gradually went up and it was still around. What we didn't see coming was just the absolute dumpster fire that it turned out to be, which was so
implosion.
Like the idea that I could go see a movie a month for $6.95. The ticket was $8. I was making money going to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was awesome.
I just had to make sure I would see one movie a month, which guess what? I saw at least one movie a month.
Right.
So then it was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm going to go see Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
why not?
Well, you think of like a theater like Alamo, it makes a ton of sense to have their own subscription service. So for $20, it's like, yeah, you spend $20 a month. As long as you see 2 movies, there you go. You get your money's worth. On top of
And if
that,
you're Kenny,
Alamo's
yeah,
the
if-
perfect place to spend more money than
Exactly.
the actual ticket because they have everything you'd ever want with food.
yeah, if you're Kenny, you're not going to Alamo and not getting food, right?
Of course not. Like, I'm not just
Yeah.
going to sit
There
there
you
and
go.
just watch
They
a
got ya.
movie. Yeah.
Like an idiot.
Yeah. I'm going to order a chicken sandwich because they're so good. But yeah, it makes sense. So rest in peace, MoviePass. But yeah, that's our big expose. Somebody else did all the heavy lifting. It's not really we did anything. We're just going to
We
call
just
it an
read it.
expose. Shout out to Mary for sending us that article as well because we really got a kick out of that. Well, Tom, you got some trivia for us this week?
I do have trivia for us this week.
Let's do that.
So I think I've shared the last couple weeks. I've been catching back up on some of the Marvel films, and so I thought it'd be fun as we prep for Black Widow, and also with Loki and Winter Soldier shows being released recently. I just thought this would be fun to do. So let's just jump right on in. Our first question: what was the first Iron Man suit called? And there's also not a lot of multiple choice questions here.
Good, because I don't need them. The first
I don't know the
Iron
answer
Man
to this.
suit.
I haven't watched Iron Man in years.
I watched it last year.
Orpheus.
Jarvis.
Yeah, it had I don't know, man.
Answer is Mark 1.
Mark 1. God damn it.
I
knew
knew
it
it
was
was
that.
Probably should have known that. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah. Our next question: what color blood do Skrulls have?
It's green.
Blue. I thought it was blue or purple. Green? I don't know.
Mop, any guesses?
I'm going blue.
It is
Purple.
blue.
Is blue?
It's blue.
Yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
blue, baby.
I'm so bad at Marvel.
These are real. These are not as easy as I thought they
I
were.
know.
They're
Knock this out of the park.
No, I wanted to find some hard ones for you.
I like it.
What character is in both Ant-Man and the Wasp and WandaVision?
All red. No, I don't know. And WandaVision.
Ant-Man and WandaVision.
Paul Bettany in it?
It's Randall Park's character,
Yeah.
the FBI agent.
Mhm.
I can't
Oh,
remember his
yeah.
name.
Jimmy Woo, baby.
Jimmy
Woo.
Yeah.
Jimmy Woo.
Our next question:
We suck.
from which Infinity Stone did Carol Danvers get her powers?
Well, it's the engine that blew up. But
It
what
was
Infinity
the-
Stone. It was the Tesseract.
Yeah, it was the
which
Tesseract.
which was the
Blue one.
The
the
Blue
one,
Stone.
which hold on, we can get this.
You can
That
get
was
it.
the Space Stone, yeah.
Yep, Space Stone, baby.
Space Stone.
Which makes sense.
I just watched
She's
Loki.
like-
I should know that. Yeah,
Because
Makes sense.
She lived in space.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
a space girl. Yeah.
Mhm.
Next question: what necklace does Peter buy for Mary Jane in Spider-Man: Far From Home?
Oh, I love this movie. Know it.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, it's something. It's a black something. It's something really depressing and
Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Uh,
Because that's her vibe.
Yeah. Gosh, I love Zendaya. I
Does
don't
he
know.
give it to her and then she says, "Go get him, Tiger."
oh,
Ugh. Gross.
Ooh.
They do a couple spin moves and hip thrusts and point people in the
Maybe
street.
gross like that. I don't know. Hang on one second.
Dude, I don't know. It's something. It's like a.
You can tell him.
It's like a
Kevin,
black
you were
stone.
so
You can
close.
give me
It
the answer.
is-
Just gotta do- oh no. Oh,
What?
technical difficulties.
Bill.
See, the thing is
Continue.
oh,
The answer is a Black Dahlia necklace. So you were very close there, Kevin.
so the only word you missed was Dahlia.
Dahlia.
You said
Yeah,
black
the easy
necklace.
One. I knew it was like a something black. I was this close.
Do we get it?
We got
Kevin.
2/3.
I'll give
we
Kevin
got the hard
half-
part. We
yeah,
got the
half
hard
credit.
part.
Okay, good.
And our last question today: who does Martin Freeman play in the MCU?
He's an agent of some sort.
Yeah, he's
I
the
forget
guy
his name.
from Black Panther.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I couldn't tell you his name.
he's also in Civil War. Captain America.
He
Civil
is.
War.
His name
Accurate.
is Everett Ross.
That's
Doesn't
right.
Everett
a scroll
Ross.
impersonate him at some point too? I feel like
Probably.
Yeah.
Sweet. We didn't do too hot this one.
No, it's
We
all
thought
right.
I was
would be
looking.
awesome.
I wanted one that was going to be kind of tricky, and I thought that would be a good
We've been
one, so.
tricked. We've been bamboozled.
How many of you guys have watched the first Loki episode yet?
I have. It is awesome.
Great. I already love
Super
it.
stoked.
I should have made my big on Owen Wilson with gray hair because
Oh
he
my
should
God.
keep that hairstyle, keep the mustache. He looks great.
Yeah.
I can
looks
already tell
solid.
I'm gonna love him in this series.
He's wonderful.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I might wait until I can watch them all.
Mobius and Mobius.
the vibe is just awesome.
Yeah.
The music, the sound of it, the
Good.
feel of it, it's dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always sad when they're only 30 minutes or like 35
Well,
minutes.
this one's 50, but
This won't
No,
ruin
but
anything.
the credits are always like 10 or 15 minutes
Yeah.
long.
Right.
it's,
won't-
Trick to you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I got tons of time. Nope,
It's more that you gotta wait a week.
that
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
like-
So this won't ruin anything, but Ken might feel me on this level. The intro video to where Loki was
You're gonna say
very
Fallout?
Fallout theme.
Mm.
Yeah.
Felt so good.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this feels like I'm watching Fallout, the TV show, which that is
Yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Also, they showed the release date for Starfield, not a gaming podcast. That came out today, November 11th, 2022.
Dope.
Yeah. Nobody knows what that is, but
Big Starfield.
I'm
guy.
really excited.
It's,
Ah.
it's like Fallout in space.
Yeah. Okay, so trivia? Or not trivia, movie
Review's
anniversaries?
done. We got some great anniversaries.
Great.
I'm excited for
Glad
this
to hear
week.
it.
Happy 5-year anniversary to Central Intelligence with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart.
All right.
I did see it. I enjoyed it, but
I saw the first 10 minutes at a drive-in, and then we decided to leave.
What?
That's a bummer.
It was the second feature of the double feature.
Yeah.
that checks
Oh,
out.
that's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long night.
Happy.
I mean, stay. You
Oh.
don't get home till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That's true. Happy 10-year anniversary to Green Lantern.
That's only 10 years old. I feel like that came out like 30
Oh.
years ago.
I thought it came out just 5 years ago. I was shocked when I read that it was 10 years old already.
Are we sure it's not the Green Hornet?
Ooh.
Pretty sure.
Because I always get those two mixed up.
I feel like Green
Yeah.
Hornet's newer than Green Lantern.
Green Hornet might have come out around the same time.
I
At least
think
the
they
same
came
year.
out around the same time.
Same year, at least. Yeah. Happy 25-year anniversary to The Cable Guy,
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
which I was looking that up. I did not realize it was directed by Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
That's 25 years old. Ugh.
Mhm.
it was a commercial and critical failure, but it is a cult classic.
Yeah. And
That
then
is a TBS special
I
if
do
I've
love
ever
that.
heard.
Oh,
it.
it-
That's where I first saw it was on
really
TBS.
is, yeah.
Yep.
Always on TBS. Couple honorable mentions. Happy 35-year anniversary to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Speaking of The Cable Guy. And also, more importantly, happy 40th anniversary to Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, that was on
Wow.
TV last night. It's such a good movie.
Love that one so much.
Yeah.
Was it one of you that thinks that Raiders of the Lost Ark isn't the best Indiana Jones movie?
I
Is
don't
that
think
you,
it
kid?
is.
Ah,
I think Last Crusade's the best one, but
That one's so good too.
it's not a popular opinion. I'll admit that. I just think Last Crusade is probably the best one. I think it's my favorite.
It's.
Okay.
I feel like it's a bit more fun.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah, it moves quicker.
Yeah.
They're definitely all over the place, unlike Lost Ark, where they're basically in one spot.
Yeah, and then at the beginning you get River Phoenix as Indiana Jones, which is fun, and then at the end you get the old knight in the tomb, just
Yeah.
being old.
It was really
You
old.
chose poorly.
I mean, then you get Sean Connery. That's always good.
Yes, Sean Connery's awesome.
Connery.
Yeah, it's like way more. I don't want to say the stakes are higher because I don't think the stakes are higher, but it is a lot more. It covers a lot more ground. You're like in Venice for part of the
There's
movie.
that crazy scene where they're like, aren't they like fighting tanks on like horseback or something?
Well, there's the motorcycle
There's like
chase scene.
that's
Yeah.
maybe.
And he hops on a
he-
tank at one point.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
he's
there's
on a
that.
tank.
He jumps off
He
the horse.
defeats
onto
a
tank.
tank
Yeah,
with his bare hands, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Do you guys
People
think
don't talk about how bad Temple of Doom was. That one. So.
I watched
I
that
don't
one
think it's
pretty recently.
bad. I just don't think it's the like that was the first Indiana Jones movie I saw as a kid. I actually saw that
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
before I saw
really? That was
Raiders.
the first?
Yep. And I
And
thought it was
technically,
amazing.
I think it comes before Raiders.
Yeah.
In like the timeline.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just being conscious of the timeline when I saw it when I was 6.
There you were.
I was like, Mom, I'd prefer to see this one first. That's what I said.
It's just a totally different feel than the rest of the movies.
It's wild.
Well, it's actually that they didn't have Raiders at the Blockbuster. They just had Temple of Doom that day, so we got it.
And I
Temple
think
of
it's
Doom
the
is
reason.
dork. It's
Yeah,
dork
and
as
I
hell.
think it's the reason why they now have PG-13 ratings.
I think that was on trivia a while back.
Also, here's a bit of trivia. Well, it's not really trivia because I'm not going to ask a question. I'm just going to tell you. Kate Capshaw in Temple of Doom, married to Steven Spielberg. Kate Capshaw also, though, taught at Rockbridge High School
Mizzou
in
grad,
Columbia,
baby.
Missouri.
Didn't know that.
True story. So
Good for her.
You got your Kevin 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon voice going there, and I thought that's where that was going somehow.
Let's do it real fast.
okay,
No, you don't have to. When you do your 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, you have a very presenting voice,
I want
That goes
Kate Capshaw
in a certain way.
yeah.
and that's the way it was going.
It's
And so I
very
thought you were just going to
matter-of-fact.
randomly give us a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but
Nah. Well,
fun times.
good times. Well, hey guys, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode.
Shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's always a good time hanging out with you guys. But yeah, we are the CineBoiz podcast. We are part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network. You can listen to us on Google Podcasts, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, listen to us on Spotify. You can also rate, review, subscribe, like, all those things. Tell a couple friends about us. We really appreciate it. Also, if you're watching on the Cork Bats YouTube page, you can follow Cork Bats on YouTube. Also, like and review, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And then, of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the CineBoiz. We have social media. You know what I realized this week, guys? I got kind of busy, and I missed Hemsworth Wednesday for the first time, and
Wow.
I'm really ashamed. I'm really, really ashamed. There's only been one other time where I missed it, but I remembered to let somebody else know to do it.
Well, we'll just have to do it
But
twice.
then
this
that
week.
person was locked out of the account because we don't know the password.
Yeah. But at least it got done. This time it just didn't even get done, and it's my fault, and I apologize, and I feel like we probably lost some subscribers, and I understand why, and your feelings are validated, and I'm sorry.
Maybe we should start posting Hemsworth clips on Hemsworth Wednesday. Or maybe that'll be this Wednesday to make up for the lack of.
Maybe we're gonna have to go big this Wednesday, I think. But yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the CineBoiz. And then also you can follow Cork Bats on Twitter at Cork Bats, and you can follow Cork Bats on Instagram at Cork Beers because
We're still in jail.
we're still in jail.
Bummer.
So
We're still in
dumb.
Instagram jail, and we don't know how to get out of it.
Let us out, Dana White.
Dana White's a dick. You heard it here first. Dana White equals dick.
Also, apparently he's way shorter than we think he is.
Of course he is. He's probably got a small. Never mind.
Wow.
I don't know if I can say that. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to, because maybe that crosses a line that typically the CineBoiz don't cross.
Maybe.
Talking about men's penises. Anyways,
Laura won't mind though.
Laura, if you're here, never mind. Okay.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, guys, you got anything else you want to say?
Sure don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck, everybody.